Hi, I'm AJ,
I'm Jeremy.
and these are extraordinary times.
Uh, so,
Friday!
Friday. Happiness. And he's finally back from his parents' house.
Yay, freedom!
Uh,
Right, had a good time, all that. Golfing, fun stuff.
yeah. You were talking very highly about your golfing experience.
The golfing was a lot more fun than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, once again, happy birthday, Sandy Katie, and happy birthday, Rissa, today. Anyway, on to the stories.
So, first off, sort of that cheesed me off a little bit, but at the same time, it is time. Natalie Holloway, for those of you who have lived under a rock the last few years, this guy, she was abducted in Aruba back in May of 2005, and they never found her. They tried giving a trial to words that I can't think of right now. I win. So they tried trying this guy named Joran van der Sloot, Dutch guy that was in Aruba and, talking to her at the bar, and he left with her and blah, blah, blah. And now he went to Peru to evade being prosecuted for the Natalie Holloway thing, and then he went and killed some lady in Peru, and now he's serving in a Peruvian jail. So, he's still totally scot-free of the Natalie Holloway thing, other than everyone knows his name because of it. Anyways, they finally pronounced her dead after 6.5 years of being missing, which is sad, but, it frees the family up of some of their legal obligations that they had with her being missing instead of dead. The happier one is that her college fund now goes to her brother, and
he can get his life moving forward, and
there's
something about a life insurance, getting all that taken care of. Anyway, another little tiny story for you here. If you're a fan of the Dublin Dr Pepper, me too. It will no longer exist.
Not as Dublin Dr Pepper, anyways.
Yeah, the Dublin factory has been shut down.
Bought out and shut down.
Bought out, shut down.
It was an independent bottler that bottled Dublin Dr Pepper. It was only bottled in Dublin, and it was the one that they made with pure cane sugar.
And the parent company of Dr. Pepper started having some issues with them about certain stuff. They haven't given out details. Either way, they ended up buying out the Dublin factory, shutting it down. They will no longer use the name Dublin Dr. Pepper. There will still be sugar-sweetened Dr. Pepper, but for those fans of out there, it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not. No. I mean, part of the allure of Dublin Dr. Pepper is it's made in Dublin, it's made in Texas, it's always made in Texas, and the Texas stuff goes all over the world as Dublin Dr. Pepper.
Exactly.
But no. Anyways, we're not gonna do the same thing Facebook did and totally bash Dr. Pepper about it. But
yeah, you make your own opinion on this one.
Not a big fan of that decision. Anyways. Moving on to probably one of the greatest things that happened today.
And this one actually came from one of our subscribers, Death Goddess Ruth. Thanks again for the story. Story of awesomeness. So an art student over in Poland, his name I will not even attempt to say. You're going to have to read it yourselves.
Undeserved Death. Something like that.
We're going to have to just go with that.
Awesome. Anyway. Awesome name that his last name means his own master. So I have to preface the story with that.
He decided that he didn't want to wait 50 years for his stuff to get into a museum, and just went in and hung up one of his pieces in a museum.
Snuck it in behind the back of a security guard, cool, like James Bond did it right onto the wall.
Bad A awesomeness here.
The kicker for me is that he didn't get caught, and they didn't catch that it was there for 3 days. people walking by and
oh, that looks cool. Oh, that looks nice.
The security guards that pass it every day. The people, the curators, all the people totally missed it.
In other words, it fit in.
And so it fit in. Apparently, he was right.
Either way, instead of really getting mad at this guy, people are really seeing this as, hey, maybe this is something we should look at more into.
Except the security guard the security people at the museum are like, oh, security breach.
Yeah,
they're a little touchy about it, but
that security guard might get fired. But anyway, beyond that, guy of awesomeness of the week.
But the people had a really good sense of humor about it. The museum people at least, and they took it, and instead of just taking it down and being like blah blah blah, you put up your art, they put it down in the cafe, and I hear on Sunday they're going to be having a charity auction. That anyways, like they were going to have one, and they're going to auction off his piece in the charity auction. Apparently, it's good. So there we go.
All right, now for one a little more close to home.
A little closer to home, and as or possibly more awesome.
Well, last one was Guy of Awesomeness of the week. This will be Girl of Awesomeness for the week.
And we're skipping the whole mom thing, which was, a trend.
She was of the year.
Indeed.
Go back to that particular video. I'll put a link right here if you missed out what we're talking about here.
The previous videos. Which corner? That one? Something.
One of the two corners. It'll be the
I think previous is this side. Subscribe's right there-ish.
Right.
Subscribe.
The previous button's always black. I always put that in black. Next is white. But you won't see that unless you look at the previous videos.
Moving on.
You should do.
Yeah, anyway. See? He works hard for the money.
Anyway.
What money?
We will get it eventually.
Maybe. Anyways, this Olympic swimmer, she's on our U.S. national team, named Missy Franklin, is a 16-year-old kid out of Denver, Colorado. Big Tebow fan, good girl. She apparently has been turning down money after prize, after endorsement deal, after just a whole bunch of deals, equating to over $130,000.
What I would do with that money.
What I would do with that money. But she's turned down all these deals and all these endorsements because she wants to swim in the NCAA. And apparently, if you take money as for your profession, you become a professional and thusly disqualified from competing in the NCAA for college-y things. And she wants to swim for college, and she has always wanted to swim for college, and thusly she is sticking to her guns
and going for a dream,
and still swimming in the Olympics, and still wanting to go to college after swimming in the Olympics. I don't know if I'd have that fortitude.
I wouldn't.
I can tell you this right now. See, that's what I've been doing the last couple of weeks.
And probably why I haven't been given this opportunity in life, because I'd be weak.
So, okay. Yeah. So this girl, who her friends are dubbing the anti-Kardashian, is just awesome, and really, it's really rare to see principled people, much less principled teenagers, who are that strong about what they're doing. Definitely. So, I just wanted to cover it because she's really just awesome, and
kudos for sticking to it.
And go USA.
Yeah.
Was it 2012 Olympics this year? Right? Is it 2012?
I think it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
USA.
We're the news people.
Yeah. Go figure.
More research on that later. All right, little thing for you. Don't know if you know the website Cheezburger.com. It is hilarious. Check it out if you don't know what
Check
what
them
it is.
out. Check out all their sister sites. Know Your Meme.
Awesomeness.
And
if you've ever seen a picture of an animal, usually a cat with words around it, something funny usually has to do with the picture. That's Can Has Cheeseburger. It all originated with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're known as lolcats. That's Can Has Cheeseburger. They turned 5 years old this year. And actually, they're also going to participate in a little protest of the SOPA Act. If you don't know what that is, I guess it's just SOPA since the last A is Act. But the Stop Online Piracy Act that would pretty much screw us, screw most people on YouTube, and screw most of the internet. They are going to be shutting down their site on the, let's see, what day is it? January 18th to protest this act, which, as we all should, simply because this is a direct freedom of speech violation.
Yeah.
And this is not something that should go through at all. So anyway, check that out. Cheezburger.com, turning 5 years old. Awesomeness. But don't check it out on the 18th because it won't be there.
It won't. Neither will Reddit. Apparently, Reddit and Can Has Cheeseburger, and they're recruiting a lot of sites to shut down on the 18th just to prove a point, if nothing else.
I mean, sites like Google are protesting this. So this is, check out the act, check out everything you can about it, and send a letter to your senator because this needs to be stopped.
Yeah.
Anyway, big finisher here for you.
Last note is kind of a downer, unfortunately. Out of Los Angeles, of all places, sadly. Out in the suburbs, there was a kid who, good kid, didn't participate in gangs, was a good student, people liked him. Was a soccer goalie. They had a soccer game on Wednesday night. They tied their high school rivals, like high school, and they got done, went home. Later on Wednesday night, a girl knocks on his home door, and asks for him. He goes outside to talk to her, and a few minutes later, shots are fired. They come out. He's shot. He dies in the hospital. That's a really, really quickie version of it. And I mean, they're not sure if the game and the shooting are related, but for all intents and purposes, it
might as well be.
Yeah, it might as well be because they don't know who the girl is. They don't know who the escape car belonged to. Anything about it. And I mean, this kid was a good kid, Francisco Rodriguez. Not good to just talk about
school
him in person.
Loved him enough that pretty much the entire school turned out with white shirts to show their memory of it.
White shirts, socks, shorts, like they dressed in all white today
to remember him. So this was obviously a good kid. This wasn't just some gangbanger got shot in a crossfire or whatever. This was premeditated. This was
intentional
and very sad.
Yeah.
His last little note here, we got to wrap things up. He actually had already even had asked to be buried whenever he did die next to his best friend, who died in a car accident. Last year?
Last April.
Last April. So he was obviously had a good head on his shoulders. Already knew about the frailties of life, and had even picked out where he wanted to be buried. And the fact that he'd already lost his best friend, I don't know how much more that school can go through. And the fact that they're holding together like this is actually, the fact that they are holding together is kind of inspiring.
But we get some pretty sensitive stuff sometimes, and I mean this is just another way that school violence and taking high school so seriously, it's not worth it. If you're into the sports, it's fine. If you're not, that's fine too. If you're too into the sports, stuff like this can happen. Anyways, we love you guys. Have a good
Send
weekend.
us stories.
Send us more stories. You know we'll use them.
Thanks for that. Again, Death Goddess Ruth.
I'm Jeremy.
I'm AJ.
These are extraordinary times. Be aware.